Elon Musk has just made a huge move that all Tesla stock investors need to be aware of. Twitter is no longer Twitter, it is now X. There's no more Twitter logo on twitter.com. The whole site is now being rebranded to X. This is actually important news to Tesla stock investors because this is a little bit risky, and there are many critics that say something tells me destroying 15 years of brand equity is a bad business decision. If somehow that person turns out to be right, Elon Musk could be selling more Tesla stock to fund X. I really don't understand this X business. Elon Musk is a forward thinker and probably has a grand plan, but this one is really hard to see. Feels like dumping years of brand value in a single swoop. That was a Tesla stock bear, but James is a Tesla stock bull. He says rebranding Twitter is very bold, but risky too. Twitter has history and equity. We believe the rebranding to X logo for Musk and Twitter is all part of this Twitter transformation that will eventually lead to the super app concept down the road. That said, losing the iconic world-renowned bear logo is a risky move from a branding perspective, we believe. This is where we, Tesla stock investors, need to really pay close attention. Gary says, while I'm no fan of Twitter's name and logo change to X, it really shouldn't impact Tesla's fundamentals or stock price unless Twitter free cash flow does not turn positive by 2024, which could happen possibly. Gary said yesterday that perhaps some advertisers will wait and not advertise on Twitter or X anymore because they don't like change and we want to wait it out and see how things go first and only then resume advertising, assuming that everything goes well. And if something does not go smoothly, then Twitter could, or X could have lower free cash flows, meaning Elon would then possibly sell Tesla stock to fund X. With the 2024 Olympics and presidential election, the wind will be at X's back. Elon also just made a comment. The tweet right here above is from a parody account, but this is Elon's account. He just updated his profile picture. What should we rename Twitter Blue to? Elon responds, balls. Just balls. Wow. Elon is joking, I think. Instead of retweet, what's the new name? Re-X? Elon says that whole concept should be rethought. Sounds like Twitter, or X, will have a different user interface maybe going forward. This is what the Twitter office building looked like yesterday. You can see the huge X right here. This is the end of the Twitter era, Elon says, and soon we shall bid adieu to the Twitter brand and gradually all the birds. However, we also have good news for us Tesla stock investors. Twitter, now X, hit another all-time high in terms of usage. Hopefully that continues so Elon Musk does not need to sell more Tesla stock to fund Twitter. Although, I can't say I would mind too much because probably that would create a huge buying opportunity, wouldn't it? But I know most of you would not like that. There are a few more changes. For example, the domain is going to be x.com. I also like this change. Followers will be renamed to viewers. And eventually over time, X will become more like a WeChat kind of app that will have apps within it, and it will include financial services. Here's a few more things that are likely to be included in the new X app over time: a dating platform, an e-commerce platform, integration with food ordering apps, new focus on audio and video content, which I really like, and many, many more things. Earlier, we also had reports that ads were not really showing up in some cases on Twitter, but today I am seeing a lot more ads on Twitter. Seems like all of these bugs have been certainly fixed. And now let's go through today's Tesla stock news. Tesla stock is up 3.5% almost. Elon will certainly be pleased that the stock closed at $269. Tesla representatives are reportedly set to meet India's commerce minister this month to discuss plans to build a factory to produce what the company has described as an all-new $24,000 car. Although Tesla does need to watch out a little bit, Bloomberg is reporting that India rejected Chinese car maker BYD from building a $1 billion electric vehicle plant in partnership with a local company, according to people with the knowledge of the matter. Now, I personally think this is all politics between India and China, and that Tesla mostly has nothing to really worry about. This is because investment proposals from countries that share a border with India need political and security clearance from the Ministries of External and Home Affairs. So indeed, this is very political. But see this here in red, foreign direct investment in India's automobile sector does not typically require approval. So in Tesla's case, I think we're all good here. We got Tesla's 10Q, and gross margin for energy generation and storage improved from 1.7% to 14.7% in the first 6 months of this year compared to the first 6 months of the last year. That's a big change, isn't it? Tesla also mentioned solar roof. We continue to seek to improve our installation capabilities and price efficiencies for solar roof. This is page 25 about energy generation and storage demand. The long-term success of this business is dependent upon increasing margins through greater volumes. In other words, we have seen nothing yet. For Powerwall, better availability and growing concerns over grid stability drive higher customer interest. We remain committed to growing our retrofit solar energy business by offering a low-cost and simplified online ordering experience. But Tesla knows that they need a lot of skilled electricians to support the ramp of solar roof. Seems like Tesla is not giving up on solar. Here are the notes that Gary took from the 10Q report. In gray here, Tesla expects to recognize $207 million in energy deferred revenue over the next 12 months versus just $12 million at the end of Q1. That's a huge deal, a huge change, and a lot of Wall Street, I think, is still sleeping on this. In orange, there is no additional detail on the $328 million Q2 other income other than what was in the earnings deck due to fluctuations in currency exchange rates on intercompany balances. This is what a lot of the bears complained about. But you can take that whole $300 million out and Tesla still beats earnings expectations. Roland put together some beautiful charts. In green are pure EVs, in red are Tesla vehicles, and you can see that EV adoption in Europe is still rather slow in many countries, for example, especially in Italy and Spain. But Germany is doing well. This is a rather unexpected story. UBS downgraded Tesla stock from buy to neutral. You especially want to look at what he did with his price target for Tesla stock. We downgrade to neutral because we think the recent strong share performance fully reflects the strong demand response seen after the price cuts, as well as a solid execution in 2024. The analyst wrote. Meanwhile, the analyst raised his price target to $270 from $220. Tesla remains the undisputed, truly global technology, scale, and cost leader in the EV space with unparalleled software capabilities. However, for the next 12 months, we think upside risk to consensus earnings is very limited, with significant volumes from new product for Cybertruck than the affordable model not kicking in before the second half of 2024, and with some initial margin dilutive impact. It's a nothing about what Tesla is going to do over the next 5, 8, 10 years. It's only about what Tesla is going to do in the next 12 months. This doesn't particularly strike me as long-term thinking. A former fund manager, Alexandra, says that she's confident that the Nasdaq rebalancing is behind us. The rebalancing is likely what caused Tesla stock to go down on Friday. Or at least it put some downward pressure for sure on the stock. A picture of a Tesla Cybertruck with a wrap that makes it look like a Ford F-150 has leaked from a Tesla shop. It looks like Tesla is trolling, but more importantly, the picture raises questions about the Cybertruck's frunk. Indeed, looks like Tesla is trolling heavily here. The frunk does seem quite small, but you will have a big bed in the back, so I think it's fine. And the bed does fully close. Remember that huge order inflow in South Korea for the Model Y rear-wheel drive? It appears, and this is a rumor, I haven't confirmed this, but it does appear that the first shipment from Giga Shanghai is now on the way to South Korea. Did you know that for Toyota Corolla to reach the best-selling car status in the world, it took 31 years? That's a long time. But Model Y did it in under 4. In China, Model X's seem to be a lot more popular than Model S's. Drive Tesla Canada is reporting that Tesla won't get special treatment in India. Government encourages participation in existing schemes. However, if I read exactly what the government official from India said, he said for a single company, the government may not like to make separate policies. The key word here is may not, will not. it does appear that there is some room for negotiations. This might explain the whole reason why Elon actually bought Twitter. The SEC can no longer get upset about Musk's tweets because Twitter no longer exists. Elon is out here playing 69-dimensional chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Elon really liked that comment. A lot of auto companies will be reporting earnings soon. Write these down if these interest you. You definitely want to see this one. Toyota falters as Japan's EV hesitancy claims second victim in China. Toyota is laying people off actually, and why would they do that? Toyota launched an EV in China, but to boost sales and remain competitive, the automaker slashed prices by 15% in response earlier in February with a new starting price of around $25,000. So far, the move has failed to make a difference, with EV sales falling 9% in the first 6 months of the year. So you cut prices and the sales also get cut. Sawyer asks Elon, so now that Twitter has been rebranded to X, what are tweets called now? And Elon says, X's. So it turns out I have 1,226 X's? Sounds a bit weird, but maybe we'll just all get used to it. Omar has a pretty good point here. To most people, bold and risky are deterrents. To Musk, though, the opposite is true. The more insane and crazy an idea sounds, the more he likes it. And James says it's true. It has worked out well for him in most cases thus far. Volkswagen is doing something interesting. A new patent filing shows that Volkswagen may be doing away with turn signal stocks, following in Tesla's footsteps. And more good news for us Tesla stock investors, because this is good news for Twitter, or X, for Threads, the competitor of Twitter that was just launched by Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. The churn rate apparently has remained the same, but downloads have continued to decline rather than stabilizing as previously modeled. This pushes out time to population stabilization and suggests a steady state at roughly 7 million daily active users, barely in the global top 200. Tesla has released a new video on LinkedIn showcasing their collision teams, and here's a direct quote from that video. "The benefits at Tesla are far more rewarding than anywhere else," said one of the Tesla employees. And YouTube says you should watch this video next, but if you haven't finished watching this Elon Musk interview, watch this one first. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.